Hello, hello. How are you doing today? Welcome to Travel Marketeering Live. A big TM out to all of you. If we have not met before, my name is Joshua Harrell, and I am your chief travel marketeer, maybe. But my day job is the chief revenue officer over at World Via Travel Network. Travel marketeering is like my side gig, and I kind of enjoy it. Anyway, welcome. If you are brand new, if you are joining us live anywhere around the world, wherever you're watching this, whatever channel you're watching it from, please drop some comments in, your questions. If you are new to travel marketeering, we say TM. It's kind of like a hello. It's like a congratulations. It's kind of like a
Yeah, girl.
it's just kind of a term we use. So again, a big TM to you, but you can drop those down in the chat wherever. I have to say that I enjoy watching the chat bubbles pop up. I can see them on the screen over here, and those of you with phenomenal profile pictures are just they bring me so much joy. Megan, I'm talking to you. All right, so today's show extra special. Normally, it's just me talking to you guys about stuff, talking about this travel marketeering life, brand strategy, your sales, service delivery. But I have a guest today, and we're going to get into how he became known for travel. So before I get to my guest, I just want to remind everybody that if you have not joined our Travel Marketeers Facebook group, please do that. Okay, that is where you don't have to be a part of World Via Travel Network to be a part of that. In there every week, there is a travel marketeering mission. There is a great group of travel professionals, whether they are travel advisors, agency owners, or travel suppliers in that group, and wanting to help you succeed in your business, and wanting sometimes some feedback from you. Plus, you guys get some drops of things that me and my team have been working on to help you with your business. So search Travel Marketeers. You got to apply to join, I guess, and then we'll let you in. But normally, right after the show, I admit a bunch of people in there. So jump in there. That's also where you can find some downloads and other resources that have been shared over time. But really, it's all about the community. So, without further ado, I want to bring on my extra special guest. It is Alan Granza from Extravaganza Travel. Alan, hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
I am so excited to have you back because you were here last year. Neither you nor I remember when you were here, but we had so much fun talking about your business and your fellow travel marketeers out there had a lot of questions and they were like, "Wait, we have more." And I think we were like doing like an hour and a half. I think we were doing a marathon. So we had to
Yeah,
say, "Hey, we're going to bring Alan back." So thank you for wanting to be a part of this today. I think we're going to have a good time. What do you think? Yeah. All
I
right.
think that's spot on. Yeah, it was great last time, and it's gonna be great again.
Awesome, awesome. Well, before we get into it, Alan, and guys, if you want to look up Alan's company, it's Extravagranza Travel. His last name is Granza, right? So Extravagranza Travel. Look him up on the socials and look him up on online for his website. You can do some deep dive digging into Alan while we're talking today, or you can wait for afterwards. But I want to pop over to the chat, and I wasn't sure what kind of glasses I was going to do today, so I think I'm going to do the frosted ones. I did a little trial of them. So let's pop over to the chat and see what's going. Oops, not just me. I got two people here today. Jeremy is there with a TM. TM back at you, Jeremy. Good to see you. Matilda, happy TM Saturday. Let's see. TM, Joshua, it's Rebecca and Chris tuning in. They always have to say that because their handle is Wander with Chris and Rebecca. So I want to make
Should be
sure.
Aloha, Rebecca.
Well, we've rebranded.
Yeah, that's true.
Rebranded. Yes. Let's see. Let's see. Megan said, "I love pastel donata. What can I say?" So those of you who are able to see this right now, this is her profile picture on Facebook. So this is what I got to see as the show was getting started. So you go, girl. Wait.
Yeah, girl.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see here. Just travel with Avery, TM back at you. Oh, hey, Alan from Stephanie. Good to see you, Stephanie.
Hey,
Thank you for
Steph.
joining. Rocky, hope the snow doesn't mess up your signal, Alan. Alan, you said you've got a full blanket of snow, right?
I do. Yeah, it's completely covered outside right now.
Oh my goodness. I was
Yeah,
telling Alan as we were getting started that I went to walk my dogs this morning and it was just like this the little white things like floating around, but they were just spinning around. Could not even call it flurries. It was nothing. Let's see, Laura, TM, Joshua, TM back at you. Good to see you. Anne, hi from Phoenix. Good to see you. Oh, Anthony, Alan, your fellow brand ambassador, World Via Travel Network
yeah.
brand ambassador, TM, good to see you, Anthony. Good morning to you. Um, Danielle, hello from freezing Florida, LOL. So I'm not sure if she's LOLing because it's not freezing or it is freezing and we're not expecting it to be freezing. Um,
It was
so,
pretty
uh,
cold in Florida when I left last week, so I know they have a little cold front going on.
Well, we hope you get to warm up, Danielle. I'm sure when things start to get warmer, you're going to get warm before the rest of us do. Blue to green travel, TM, and a thumbs up. That is lovely. Let's see, Jennifer. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oop, we're getting a bunch of chats in here. Christy, hey, Alan, and happy Saturday. You got some fans, Alan. I'm
I appreciate it.
Yeah, why am I even here? This is just to be the Alan Granza show.
Yeah, Joshua,
Uh,
just go.
Yeah, yeah, just I'll just leave it with Alan. Let's see, Jennifer TM from Bonita Springs, Florida. Nick TM, hi from Naples, Florida. We got Florida in the house. Let's see, and Chris and Rebecca said we're supposed to get snow tonight in Tampa. That is not a normal thing.
Wow.
I always remember I grew up in South Florida in Fort Lauderdale, and I always remember that my grandfather said that it snowed the year that I was born. So I can't even imagine Fort Lauderdale with snow. So I can't imagine it in
No.
Tampa either. Um, Danielle said, in Florida here, it's so cold we have a freeze warning. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, you're going to be warmed up because we are going to talk to Alan about specifically um, how he became known for travel. And that is a part of the blueprint that you can get over at in our Travel Marketeers Facebook group. You can get the Thriving Travel Advisor Blueprint. Kind of breaks down the steps for travel marketeering, kind of the overview. And step two is become known for travel. And I have been fortunate, Alan, to know you for almost 5 years. I think when I looked at it, I think
Mhm.
it's been about 5 years, and, I couldn't think of someone better, because I always say success leaves clues. I can't lay claim to that phrase. I think I heard it from Tony Robbins years ago, but, when I say success leaves clues for everybody who hasn't heard it from me. It's really about the fact that I have been so fortunate to work alongside thousands of travel advisors, and everybody's unique. There's only one you in the galaxy. That is 100% true. But let me tell you, success does leave clues, and some of the clues are there all around. And I call myself a professional clue picker upper because I like pointing out, oh, wait a minute, this is very similar. There's some similar patterns here. And Alan, for those who don't know you and know your story, can you like, who are you and what is Extravaganza Travel?
Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to start my business back in 2020, the tail end of 2020, which I know seems crazy, but it was kind of right when the world started to kind of open back up a little bit. So I felt like it was kind of a good time because nobody knew how to travel, what to do. With there's so many restrictions and testing and all that stuff in place. So like I know it's bad to say, but it's kind of like the perfect time to start a travel agency, and that kind of helped me out a little bit as well. But my background, I've been in hospitality management. That's what my degree is in. I managed hotels for Marriott and Starwood back in the day. I worked for Disney, was a manager in Disney World at their hotels. Um, so hotels and travel is kind of in my blood, and I loved it. So I was kind of getting burnt out in my 9 to 5 job. And so I started this just as a side gig, like I think most people do. And I was lucky enough that just with the hard work that I was putting into the business, that it took off pretty quick for me. And it got to the point in 2022, I believe, where I was making more in travel than I was in my full time job. And I had to come up with that decision and be like, am I leaving this secure job with benefits and all this and going to venture out on my own and try to really push this business? Um, and I decided to do that. And it was the best decision I ever made. And it's been amazing since. Um, and that's kind of how I got into that. But I really started focusing the business initially when I started with Disney, just because I worked there. I knew it. We were annual pass holders. We go um, anywhere from 3 to 7 times a year. I met my wife there, so I'm very familiar with it. We go so much. I'm a huge Disney person, so I figured that was an easy start. And I think a lot of agents kind of get into this business for their love of Disney as well. And then I also honeymooned and vacationed at Sandals resorts. So then it kind of grew into building off of that brand and what I knew, and trying to be, I was only really trying to sell products that I was an expert in and knew all about. And then over time throughout the years, I got to experience more destinations, more different companies, cruises, all that kind of stuff. And I just started building my portfolio, if you'd say, and it's grown into essentially like a full service travel agency now, where I specialize in a lot of different areas.
And you also have other agents that work with you, correct?
Yeah. So up until last year, I brought on, well, yeah, it's been about a full year now. I brought in, I have 5 associate advisors. I wanted to do it about 2 years ago, but I wasn't ready. And I really spent about a full year building like a training website, kind of building all of this stuff around it so that I was fully prepared and that my associates would have the they can be as the most successful that they could be give me by me providing the tools for them, essentially, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
i tried to I tried to make it as easy as possible for a brand new agent that knows nothing about travel coming in and getting started and getting up and running. And that's why I kind of took a year to do that, because I didn't want to have someone come in and then um, not know what they're doing and not have anything in place. And also, I don't have 8 hours a day to train someone. So I needed that system in place to kind of help me through that. But it's been good since. The agents or the associates are doing well, and hopefully that grows further in the future.
No, that's awesome. I love that you said you wanted to do it a few years ago, and then you were
Mhm.
like, "Mm, I don't have everything in place,"
Yeah,
because
one of it's funny with that too. Like one of my associates, shout out Crystal, she actually wanted to join me like 2.5 years ago, and I told her, I said, I can't, I'm not ready. And she went out and she joined her own, like another agency on her own, and was there for about a year. And then the day I posted that I was hiring, she was like, "No, I'm coming with you," and she came over. So
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Because I think, whether it's deciding to bring on agents into your agency, or it's even hiring someone to do something for your business, like a virtual assistant, a marketing firm, or anything, by the time like, it takes you a while to make that decision to say, "Okay, I want to do this." But I
mhm.
have seen throughout my career outside of travel and beyond, it isn't just about making that decision to pull the trigger, it's about, are you prepared to set them up for success? If you work with a virtual assistant, are you ready with the systems, the SOPs to be able to that for them to actually help you, or does it become a full-time gig trying to get them up to speed where they're kind of riding sidecar with you all day? Or with a marketing
Yeah,
firm, you're like, I just want to get more leads from social media, and the social media specialist is like, well, what do I have to work with? Where are the assets? Where do we get started?" In all decisions as an entrepreneur, it's not just about financially, do I want to pull the trigger and start to do this? It's a, am I really prepared to get somebody started and get them up to speed? So I love that you hit on that. What is When you think about your business today, what are you most proud of that didn't exist 5 years ago?
like system wise, or
Just anything, like, what comes to mind when I say that? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think really like actually having a team of associates is probably up there pretty high. When I first started, like just as part time, like I never thought that I would be anywhere near where I am today, let alone have a couple agents underneath me. So I think that's my I would say that's a pretty big accomplishment from knowing where I started to where I am today.
Yeah, definitely. Um, and so you got another friend in the chat. Stephanie, she spells her name with an F here,
That's
and
with
she
the
said,
F.
Alan, you've got 39 hours in your day. So there, I know she's giving you a hard time there. We all know Stephanie with an F. Good to see you, Steph. Um, so, Alan, I was talking about success leaves clues. So when you look back, what was one early clue that you might be on the right track with what you were doing? Like getting into travel. Like what was the clue that made you feel like, yeah, this was a good decision?
Yeah, I think when I first started, it was how to say it. So I think it was more a feeling. Um, it was fun, and I like actually enjoyed it, and it was like the first thing, whether it was a career or a side hustle that I've done, that I actually was like, I actually love doing this, and I enjoy it, and I love like probably one of the biggest things was one of my first clients coming back from a Disney trip and like giving me gifts for um, providing them like the service on their trip and helping them out through everything, and like how grateful and happy they were that how everything was planned like to a T, and like that just kind of inspired me even more to keep pushing. And I was like, this is amazing, and I can't wait to see more of this.
Did you did you did you believe that that would happen in the beginning? Like, did
I
you
did
believe?
not.
Okay.
No, because I specifically remember I was on a fam maybe like a month in at I was at a Sandals resort, maybe like a month or 2 months in to the business, and there was a bunch of like experienced agents, like $1 million plus agents that were there, and we were all talking, and they're talking about this was like right after COVID too, and they were talking about how COVID kind of hurt their business pretty big, obviously, but they were selling $1 million plus a year, and I'm like, that will never happen. I'm like, I can never see myself even getting remotely close to that, and I didn't even fathom it. Like it wasn't even a possibility. Um, so I think now looking back on that, it's like I really never, I still, even though I thought that it was never a possibility, I never gave up kind of um, pushing the business and chasing that. And obviously that worked and that helped.
Well, I have to say, in the times that I've been around you, especially at industry uh, events or when you're around other advisors, um, I I've watched you really, and this is over the years. I've watched you really listen to when others are talking. Maybe they're talking about problems that they have maybe with a particular partner or, clients that might have that like they'd taken on that might have been a challenge for whatever reason, right? But I've always felt like you really embody that observer and then getting to know you a little bit better over the years, I see how you've taken a lot of those little nuggets that you've picked up, some of those clues, and
Mhm.
you've done things to circumvent maybe some of those scenarios. You probably jumped into your own problems, right? But you're
Oh yeah.
also quick. You're also quick to share with others, which is
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah. And that was my biggest thing too. Like I love sharing, and I don't mind collaborating with other agents. Like we're not in competition with anybody. There's So you go to, I was just in Disney, and I'm like, look at all of these people here. Like, look at how many clients are here right now. Like, there's millions of people. Like, you're never in competition with another agent. So I'm always happy to share. And I more so because I used to pick the brain and I still do, but pick the brain of all these successful advisors in our industry, and you pick up pieces here and there. There's no one way, or there's no right way to do this job. It can be done a million different ways, and we see it every day in our agency. Um, so I like to kind of find what works and what doesn't work with all these different things, and kind of morph it into my own style. And I'm happy to share kind of what works, what doesn't.
Yeah, I would say that that's something I learned. I mean, if you're watching right now and you don't know my history, I came from the cosmetic industry, and you didn't talk to another cosmetic company employee, or your box would be packed up, your office would be packed up, and you would. It just was so. It wasn't very clandestine what we were doing. We were just working with mascara and foundations, but I'm telling you, it was kind of scary. And something I learned back when I got into the industry in 2017 is that if you if you if you give what you have to give to others within, like, within your network, your circle, your audience, um, they will give you knowledge, things that they've learned over the years, and this industry, this profession is one where you're constantly learning. You never stop learning. So a lot of it
Mhm.
happens on some of that one-on-one conversation, or just a group of people chatting in the lounge on a river cruise ship. All of a sudden, like, it's a mastermind session.
Oh
But
yeah, for sure. I 100% stand by, and I tell, especially newer agents into the industry too. I always tell people, like, all these events that you go to, a lot of the best advice and the best tidbits you're going to get out, even though the conference is great, is those little late night sessions sitting at the lobby bar, or hanging out with other agents and you guys are just chatting. Some of those conversations are the best conversations that you have, and make the entire trip well worth it.
yeah, no, and I thank you guys in the chat for giving us, keeping us going. Keep the questions coming. A question I'm going to ask Alan in a moment to kind of break down some of the things that he did to become known for travel. But just asking you guys who are watching us live, drop in the chat, what do you want to be known for in travel, a destination, brand, or a type of traveler? Drop that in, because I'd just be curious to see where everybody sits right now. I know there's a lot of diversity out there in what you guys are interested in, where you are in your journey. I've been fortunate to hear you guys talk about things that you're kicking around, ideas that you're kicking around, because maybe you got in the business like Alan. I want to sell the thing that I know, and then you kind of morphing around. But what do you want to be known for travel? Drop that in the chat. Love to share those thoughts with the group as well as Alan. But Alan, what are as you got in, as you got your feet wet, as you started figuring out this is what I want to do? What are 2 to 3 concrete things that you made a decision to try to become known for travel? Like, how did you make it known that you did travel?
Yeah, I think the first part started with, like, my client care for each client. Um, when it's a little bit laid off now, but when I first started, like, I was full force, like, on top of every single client, making sure that they felt like I was they were my only client, and I still do to a point, but it was like over exaggerated at the time. And then when they got back from their trip, I was always making sure that um, they're referring me to all their friends and family, and making it like having essentially free advertising, having them spread the word, having them post reviews on their social media pages, so my information shows up to all of their network. That was a big thing that kind of kick started, and got getting my name out there.
Mhm.
I worked a lot on social media, um, trying to get my name out there, and a mixture of things on social media, whether it be um, posting news and updates for different suppliers or certain promotions that are coming out, um, and now evolving into more kind of travel, um, not deals and stuff like that, but more travel humor and travel related content as opposed to travel agent content, if that makes sense. So kind of like now people know like I travel all the time because I'm
Mhm.
just posting random funny videos or travel specific related, but not necessarily related to the business itself. And that's really helped spread the word as well. I walk all over the place in my town, or other agents are always coming up to me and be like, "Oh, I love your videos." So that makes me happy, makes me want to keep doing it. Um, but yeah, I think those are probably the biggest things, and then just doing some community events as well in my local area, um, whether it's a couple different shows, setting up a booth at like a school function, just trying to get my name out wherever I could.
Yeah, that, yeah, I've shared this with you before, but I you became known to me as a travel advisor within World Via Travel Network. That's how I came to know you, and then I started. I was probably like recommended to follow you on Instagram or wherever, and then all of a sudden it looked like. Oh, wait a minute, there's another account that's recommending me. It also looks like Alan. So like there were these a couple of identities that were popping up as Alan. And the thing that I really vividly recall is a moment where you started turning up that content on social, um, and it could have been updates on, park updates or, have you checked out this particular sandals property? I just remember the content shifting. There was a point in time where it seemed like the content shifted. It started to come a little more frequently. It I wouldn't say it was overproduced. I think a lot of people feel like they have to like have one color scheme and they've got to, it's really got to be tight. I felt like you were experimenting a lot. Was that what was happening at that time?
Yeah, definitely. That's right on nail on the head. I was trying to see kind of what worked, what didn't work. Um, and I wasn't focused on making these extravagant videos. It was just quick clips with your quick breaking news or a quick tip here and there. Um, and that was, I would say, that was more so. I would do that on both my agency page and then I have my personal page. Um, and I still try to, I kind of separate the two now. Um, I'll be honest and upfront, I slack really bad right now on my agency page.
Okay.
Um, so if you're going there, do not judge me because it's just once every couple of weeks I feel like I post. It's hard to do on multiple platforms, different posts, and I try to make that specific profile more of like tips and news updates and things like that, and try to leave myself off of that. And then I have my personal page, shout out traveler.allen. Um, but that one I've posted at least once a day, every day for the past year um, on there. Um, and that one I post a mixture of kind of things, funny videos, travel related things. Um, and so that one I've kind of now shifted into more of that known for travel person rather than I'm selling you this on that page. And that essentially is helping lead to, oh, he knows what he's doing or he's been here. He might have some ideas and I can reach out to him from there. And every now and then I'll throw in something that drives them back to the website or to book with me, but it's not every day I'm not putting that down people's throat.
Yeah. And don't you think too that now that you're a multi-agent agency, uh, it's, y giving your business handle a little space, a little buffer,
Mhm.
because as you evolve that, that is going to have essentially a more agency level type of social content where the personal channel can really be about your personality, the way
Mhm.
you travel, and a show not tell that you're in travel.
Yeah, that makes total sense, and that's kinda where I made the shift about a little bit over a year ago when I brought my associates on. I started to stop posting personal, things that I would do on the agency page, and I focused more on um, my personal travel page, because of that.
Yeah.
But I know I do struggle with managing both, and coming up with different content on both. So that one is slacking, but hopefully it'll get better this year.
Well, you're not alone, because, Avery, said it's hard to manage both, so she's going through that, and then you've gotten some love on your social content, so, Chris and Rebecca said your reels are really good, we love them, and let me see, I saw, oh, where'd he go? I saw right. Rocky said, "Should be most proud of those awesome reels." So kudos to
Well,
you.
thank you.
I ditto that sentiment, Rocky, because I have loved watching them, and I've also loved watching you explore new things.
Hmm.
And I think we've talked about that before, that, you're tuned in, you're plugged into social media, so you see something, and then you might try that out, and then you'll try something else out, but the main thing, it sounds like, what you've found on your personal channel is consistency is the
Yeah, and
big
I
clue
think,
there.
and really, I think too, what I struggled with when I first started also is I never wanted to show myself. I never
Mm,
wanted to show my face, my voice, anything. Um, and over, it's really only if you look back, like if you scroll far back through my social, um, it's probably not until about like a year and a half ago that like I actually am predominantly on camera now.
mm.
Like I just made my first like voiceover videos like 6 months ago,
Oh my g
because I hated the way my voice sounded. I hated, um, I couldn't think of like writing a script and seeing all these amazing videos of people that do that every day. I'm like, I can't do this. So I just kind of, I took the time kind of practicing without posting stuff. And then just got more comfortable with it. And finally I was just like, you know what? I don't care if it doesn't do good, or I don't care what people think. And I'm just going to post it. And my first one, I posted it both to Instagram and TikTok. It didn't do anything on Instagram, but on TikTok, it was a voiceover video talking about, um, like Sandals St. Vincent, and that video blew up. And I still to this day get requests, but I've gotten in the past couple months probably maybe like 120 people that filled out my request form for that resort because of that one video. And they started to come in pretty quick, and I was like, okay, well now I'm definitely going to lean into this more. And I started to do more of that and got more confident, um, on video. And then like if you've seen my stuff, like I have a series where I pretend I'm a influencer girl doing silly poses. Um, and those have gotten me to like, get more confident and just have fun with the channel. So
Yeah, I have noticed those. Yeah, those give me a little chuckle.
yeah.
I'll admit that. I'm glad that you brought up TikTok because, I've been talking a lot about that, because even when I say TikTok, I wanna giggle a little bit because it's
Mhm.
like the idea of TikTok in a business world doesn't make sense. but exactly what you just said is what's happening all over the place. Their algorithm, the way that a piece of content that could it be done 2 years ago is getting served up to the person who they think needs to hear that right now.
Yep.
It's becoming uh, the most uh, the most easiest way to be discovered with new people through the social media channels, because of the way that it's serving up this content. So I know that you're on multiple platforms. I see some of the content probably in real time when you're scheduling it, but then I'm also on TikTok seeing what is just like coming up based on my flow, like
Yeah.
whatever I'm into. And that's it. We got in the chat here. Steph with an F has said, "Do you prefer a certain platform? Do you make separate video for each platform?" So, can you speak to that?
Yeah. So I typically create everything in the Instagram Reels app. If I'm doing a video, I usually create everything there. I save it to my phone, and I have a certain camera folders and stuff on my phone that I save those to. Um, and then I will usually drop them in all of the um, platforms, because sometimes one video will do great on Instagram but terrible on TikTok and great on Facebook, and then the next day the next video is amazing on TikTok but terrible on Instagram and okay on Facebook. So I try to drop the same video kind of across all the platforms just so it gets more reach. Um, but I create it usually always um, in Reels. I just find that for me, it's just the easiest. I'm the most comfortable like in their creator tool,
Mhm.
to make a video in there. But I have messed around with the TikTok one. That one is good. What I have found now is that certain platforms prefer different videos, obviously. So like Instagram is great for more short form reels and things like that. Whereas I've found personally that my like short videos don't perform well on TikTok. And on TikTok, all of the longer ones that are like a minute plus or voiceovers or a resort tour, things like that perform a lot better on TikTok versus Instagram. I still try to post everything everywhere just because you never know what could take off and what can't. But that's the essentially what I've been noticing myself.
Well, I love that. A thing I say a lot is get going, get smart, get good.
Hmm.
And a lot of times, I'm asked questions, what is the best platform, or the length of video? Like, should I do voiceover? Should I be talking head? Da, 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 like all these questions. And then I've now started to train myself to say, so what are you doing right now? Because what I'm finding is they're not doing anything right now, so they're trying to get smart before they get going, and until you get going, you don't know what if that Reels app is the best way for you to
Yeah,
if it's the easiest for you, or if you wanna use something like CapCut, or, all the different there's so many different ways to create the content, that you have to jump in and find what feels right for you. Um, so I love that you know that about the different platforms, and I love that you're leveraging them all, to see what resonates, and you're creating a lot of diversity in your content. Um,
yeah.
so I just caught here. Let's see. Hold on, where is it? Chris and Rebecca said, "We saw one with your daughter in Disney yesterday. It was so funny." So, like, these all of a sudden become things. I had Laura say to me, "Did you see Alan's TikTok the other day?" And I was like, "Which one?" Right? So I love that we're talking about Alan, and we don't even have to talk about Alan as a travel agent, travel advisor, because it's already now it's you're synonymous with travel. So to your
Hmm.
point, it sounds like in the very beginning you were probably on that more. Let me let you know I'm a travel advisor,
Yeah.
and then now you're saying I'm going to be known for travel. And then ultimately you're going to DM me or fill out my form or whatever. And then we're going to, we're gonna either you or one of your associates is going to assist them, and find out where to take them from there, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
So Connie says TikTok still terrifies me. How how
Yeah.
how do you get someone over that, Alan? Please tell me.
So is it terrifying because they don't want to be on camera, or terrifying because, like, so I know TikTok has a wide range of mixed feelings for people. Some people just are scared of it because you feel like you have to be on camera, you have to be voiceover. I know some people don't like it for political reasons, and all of that. So for me, I just see it as a tool to help grow my business. Um, and so, and like I said, like it was only about 6, 7 months ago, um, that I had
Don't
to
do
do that.
don't do that.
Um, it was only about that long ago, though, before like I made my first voiceover and talking head video, just because I was never comfortable with it. And one day I just decided to just do it. And I've made a couple since then, and on and on. And um, you just after you do the first one and you get over that hump, if that's what you're scared of, um, it makes it becomes a lot easier um, to do that. So, and once you finally hit post on that first one, then you'd be like, oh, this wasn't that bad, and then just keep making them. And some of them are not going to do good, and some of them are going to do good, and you just don't know, and you just keep putting them out there and putting yourself out there. And the more people that see your face are going to build that relationship with you and know that you're a real person and not just a sales ad and things like that. That's what I've found that has worked more. The more you show your personality and your face, um, then usually the more people can resonate with you.
Right, right. I say this all the time. When you first get started, you get your EIN, you get your business name, you create your social handles around your business. You jump in there, and you're like, nobody is coming to. No, this is taking forever. And success does leave clues, and most of the people that I've seen get traction are the ones that flip it over and make it about them and their personality, because ultimately you're giving people the window into who they would be working with. And,
Yeah.
sometimes that person that you're going to be working with is goofy. Sometimes that person is messy, right? Like they're taking, they're talking, they're going live from their kitchen, and you're like, girl, you need to tidy up that kitchen. That's a little messy in there. But at the end of the day, I'm watching them, I'm listening to them, I'm being entertained by them. Speaking
Yeah.
of the Disney destinations focus, um, I uh, I have been really surprised by being in TikTok, and I guess probably because of the content I create and what I enjoy consuming. I'm I've seen people with a map of Disney as the screen that you're looking at, and then they're drawing on it to show like the best way to get the most out of the park. And I'm seeing hundreds of people watching these lives, and then I'm seeing them ask questions like, they're asking specific questions about being at the park, but then they're also like, how can I get in touch with you? How can I get in touch with you? And I'm
Yeah.
like, that no one would have told me that that would have been good content that would have engaged people. But people on TikTok in particular like it to be a little more authentic,
Oh yeah.
and real. You just have to kind of get over that. And I'm looking over at the chat because there's a lot of chat going on. And guys,
One one quick
keep it coming.
one quick thing too I found on TikTok that has worked too is when you do like a video of yourself or a talking head, um, like if you have a cup or you're wearing a hat that has nothing to do with what you're talking about, but it's like the Dallas Cowboys cup or something like that, or like throw something in the video that like stands out but doesn't relate to the topic, I have found that people will start commenting on that or be like, "Yeah, go Cowboys," but then that gets you more that pushes the algorithm more because more people are commenting on it. Then you have people like fighting about it in the chat, and then it just pushes your stuff out to more people. So some people are only going to be focused on that, but a good majority of people are going to actually take the content that's actually in the video too. But the more that you can kind of create with that to get people um, chatting and commenting and liking is going to help.
Absolutely. You know, you're 100% right. Like some of what you're building, you're carefully curating, essentially putting those Easter eggs in, like maybe teasing something. But then it could be something unintentional that people are like, "Oh my gosh, you write with a fountain pen.
Yeah,
I haven't written with a fountain pen." And all of a sudden you've got now friends with fountain pens and like it's just a thing. But I think it goes back to just do it,
yeah,
and accept your voice. There's so much in the chat about I don't want to see my face. I don't want to hear my voice. And guys, I know I've said this before. I've said it to many people. That's what your voice sounds like, and that's what you look like. I'm sorry. Like there's just you can't will
it's
that to be.
exactly how I was. And finally, I was just like, I never wanted to put myself on camera. I never wanted to hear my voice, and I was just like, well, whatever. I'm just gonna try it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so guys, keep the questions coming. Love seeing it. I want to make sure that we can cover some more topics. Just to because Alan is a really phenomenal guy, and I want to I again I appreciate Alan how open you are in
Yeah.
sharing your experience. But I want to talk about something that you this might sound a little odd, but, it's something that I've really over the last year and a half, I think at different conferences and different things that I've been a part of, um, I have noticed there are a lot of advisors that are afraid of positioning themselves as the expert, for fear that's arrogant or that will come off as being arrogant, like, "I'm the expert in XYZ." So how do you balance the confidence with humility? Or do you even think about it?
Um, I think initially I did, but that's kind of gone away now just over time. Um, especially if you know a product really, really well, and you know, like you're an expert, and you know everything about this product. Like for me, like I feel like I'm an expert with Disney, all Disney destinations, and Sandals resorts. I have no problem myself pushing that out and saying like I know everything there is to know about Disney Cruise Line. I know everything there is to know about Disney World. I go and and back it up. Like if you go to the parks 5 times a year, then mention that and say that. If you go on 2 or 3 Disney cruises a year, then say that. Um, in a lot of my videos that I do, like for sandals related stuff, I drop that I'm one of the top 100 agents in the entire world for sandals. I'm proud of it, and I have no problem saying that. And because gonna, even if it, some people it might come off arrogant too, but a lot of clients that are gonna see that are gonna be like, if that's true, then I want to work with him because he knows exactly what he's talking about. I've been to every resort, and all that. So I push that. You'll see in a lot of my videos, either whether it's a voiceover, a talking head, or it's on screen. I have text or voice that will drop that like as one of the first 3 sentences on the video. Um, and I've just gotten more confident saying that because I know that it's true.
Right. And I'd also say for those of you out there who are you're getting the education, you're getting you're building your knowledge. Maybe you haven't actually experienced all the properties, right?
Hmm.
But you've been to some. You still know more than the people contacting you. Because if they
Correct.
knew what you knew, then they would do it themselves. So,
Mhm.
there's you've gotta reconcile that within yourself. And I'm super proud of your accomplishments across, especially those initial brands that you focused on, sandals,
Mhm.
Disney destinations. I know that you sell beyond. I know that your business has evolved beyond, and I think that's brilliant. But I want to point out something because part of my role within our organization is I work with all of our partnerships and developing partnerships, and something that I say to all of our advisors: make sure you get connected with the partners you want to work with before you have a problem. Like your BDM is a business development manager; they want to grow business with you, so reach out to them, get to know them, and that is something very early on that I felt like you did. You became not only known for travel in your audience, but you became known to our partners at Disney destinations and Sandals and Beaches as like, this is what I want to do, and you performed for them. I mean, the production was there, it was growing, and you invested your own money to experience a lot of things. Your travel is not 100% funded by these brands. These are not,
Mhm.
because I know a lot of advisors or people getting into the industry assume there's all this free travel. And I know that you've taken it on yourself to to front money to experience something. If there was an opportunity to go and be a part of something, at the last minute, you've jumped on that. And then that's also opened the door for some really unique opportunities that aren't available just to the advisors at large. And that's something I want to point out because people who are watching the content, and I know you create a lot of content in batches. You're not traveling all the time; you do travel a lot, but you've had some really cool invites and opportunities to experience products that even some of the top sellers in those brands aren't getting because of both your production, your relationship with the partner, as well as what the partner can see you're doing through social media and through your website. And I've got to commend you for that because I don't think everyone clues into how much of an investment you put into really dialing in on those initial brands that you focused on, and then
Yeah.
how that
Yeah,
really
you
caused you
don't
to
wanna
flourish.
see you don't wanna see my expense report of how much travel I have and I actually spend. Um, but yeah, like exactly what you said. Like I early on, even when the business was not even remotely close to where it is now, I took the time to invest in going to these destinations because you start out, you're not usually when you first start out, you're not going to get invited to a lot just because you don't have the sales numbers for it's just sometimes that's the way it works. Um, so I invested and went to these destinations on my own to out of my own pocket to get the experience and become that expert in these areas. And then I always reach out to the suppliers and the BDMs and make those connections with them. So anytime, and I always express my interest. Hey, if you ever have anything coming up, please let me know. Like this is what I'm doing in your company. This is what I'm selling. This is what I need to know so I can sell it better. Um, Same thing with like Sandals Resorts. I've said this a bunch of times, I think, even at World and in some conferences. I will message the hotel staff, the GM, the sales managers. I send them an email every month, not because I have clients going. I send them an email every time I have a client going, but I also send like an email either around like the major holidays or once a month or once every other month, just checking in, making sure they're okay, how they're doing. After the hurricane in Jamaica, messaged um, all the resorts down there, just making sure everybody was safe and everybody was good. And those little things I don't think a lot of advisors realize to do or even think about, but that goes a long way. Because you don't want to, like you said, you don't want to message a BDM or a resort only when you have a problem or you need something. Um, So you build that relationship with them ahead of time, you're going to have better luck to get something that you want later on.
100%. Wow, that I yeah, that's amazing because your partners are essentially your clients too. And when
Yeah.
you clue into that, it's a complete game changer for an agency owner or an advisor. You become known as an advisor for those partners, like a true, I am serious about my business. And it's those things, guys, I'm telling you, I've seen it over and over again. It's those little things that they add up over time in the weirdest ways. Somebody is in a board meeting and they're like, "You know what? We need to get an advisor down here to, create some content and da 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 da, and show them da 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 da." Who comes to mind? It's the person who is unforgettable and is remarkable. And, I think you do that very well, Alan. Uh, guys, there are so many questions for Alan. I know that he probably will jump in and ask, or answer a lot of questions, but we are at time, excuse me. So, one of the things that I wanna ask, 'cause we talked about social just before we wrap up. Stephanie, had had asked earlier, have you ever considered hiring a social media manager, since, we've talked a lot about this content creation? Have you thought about that?
I have, um, but as most people who know me know that I have a very hard time like passing anything off, and I just do it myself. Um, and there's certain things I want to look a certain way. I don't know. I go back and forth with it still to this day, honestly. Um, I love social media, but it's a lot of work, especially if you're posting every day. Um, I think for my business, the way it stands, I think right now, like my personal page, I would just keep doing my own thing. But I have am close to considering hiring somebody or something along those lines for the agency
Just
page.
one. Yeah.
Um, just because that's a little bit easier to kind of focus, and that's not like my personal videos for travel are going to have my personal flair to them, and someone can't recreate that. So I think for my agency page, I definitely am close to maybe pulling a trigger on something like that.
And I that makes sense. That makes total sense, and the way you're thinking about it makes total sense too, because, you would essentially fire every social media, manager or company, whatever situation, if they were trying to do it for you, because they can't recreate it with your voice. But from an
Yeah.
agency perspective, that is something, yes, it will take them a while to get in tune with what you're looking for, but, over time, I think that serves you, especially as a multi-agent agency. So,
Yeah. And the other
um,
thing I go back and forth with on that is that I know there's a cost with it, and usually a good one isn't cheap. And I know that I can do it myself if I really wanted to. I just don't have the time to. So I struggle with that. Do I really want to pay for it versus do I just need to suck it up and do it?
no, I hear you. I hear you. Well, Alan, as always, thank you for being here. And thank you for, again, being so open and sharing your knowledge. You truly are a remarkable individual, and, I've loved watching your story unfold. I know it's not done. I know you're going to continue to, grow and evolve. But I appreciate you giving us a snapshot of where you've been so far. And, I know from the chat that people, are taking away some golden nuggets, which is what I love when it comes to travel marketing live. So, thank you for being here,
Yeah.
Alan.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. I know this is the second time on, so maybe there'll be a third in the future. But I appreciate you having me, and I'll go ahead and take a look at those comments that are in the chat too, and I'll try to answer anything I can. So
Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you again for joining us live, or if you're watching this on demand, make sure you join that private Facebook group, Travel Marketeers. Just search that on Facebook. Get in there and continue the conversation there. Being travel marketeers means that we're constantly growing, we're constantly evolving, but we're also sharing, because when we lift our profession, it serves us all. So with that said, we'll see you real soon. Bye.
Yeah.